Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kita mulai dengan Fatihah untuk Rasulullah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ila hadrat Nabi Mustafa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa tabi'in lahum bi ihsanin ila yaumil thumma ila arwah ya baina mahatin ajibatin tadzakiran li jamil muslimin wal muslimat mu'minin wal mu'minat wal akhirat amat syai'un lahumul Fatihah. Bismillah. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Anta alaihim ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sebelum itu semua salaman kalian semua ke Rasulullah saya sudah sampaikan, dan semua hajat dan doa-doa kalian kirim untuk dari menerusi saya kepada baginda pun saya sudah sampaikan. Saya punya tugasan sudah selesai. Saya balik semua sudah disampaikan. Apa yang kalian minta saya doakan, hajatnya dan sebagainya, dan salamnya juga, ya. Jadi kita balik kepada grand design kita cakap grand design 1, sekarang grand design, we coming back to grand design 2. Sorry kita cakap orang putih Melayu lah, ya. We coming back to the grand design 2 now. We have spoken on grand design 1. Now if we look at this, you can see the chart. Before the World War II, United Kingdom controlled the world. Politics, economic, and so on. They were the greatest power. After the World War II, the Germans were defeated, including the Japanese and so on. The United States become the greater power, taking over the United Kingdom. And with the United States of America, they brought in to follow suit them. That is the European Union. So now, United States and the EU, European Union, in particular United States under the leadership of United States, it is the greatest power. Together is the greatest power in the world today, taking over United Kingdom. But recently, maybe 10, 15 years ago, something developed, and until today, we see the setting up of BRICS with 5 members, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Whereas the USA and the EU, European Union, they are more to hegemony. Hegemony means one ruler. That means United States and the EU, in compliance with the United States, control the world. Everything dictated by the US must be carried out throughout the world, and the EU also will comply with the direction of US as the main leader. So after World War II, you see the United States become the stronger power, and they are supported by the European Union, EU, Hungary, Netherlands, Germany, France, Czechoslovakia or Czechia, Finland, Austria, Poland, Sweden, Slovakia, Greece, Estonia, Italy, Croatia, Denmark, Spain, Bulgaria, Belgium, Lithuania, Slovenia, Malta, Romania, Cyprus, Latvia, Luxembourg, Ireland, and Portugal. These are EU countries combining with the US under the command of US, and they rule the world under the leadership of US. Only they want one playground, and they are controlling it. So we can be against them or with them. Okay? And that is a hegemony. One person rule. The whole world, one person or one institution or one country control the whole world. They do not want to have any competitions. Okay? And if they don't like you, the United States and his cronies, the EU, will impose sanctions against you. Once the US sanction, punish you in whatever form, political or even economic, the EU countries will follow suit. And then you find a country like Iran totally being isolated and could not trade with any countries because the American and the EU sanctioned them, prohibiting trade and whatnot. So they also passed the sanctions to China, on Russia, and any countries that do not oblige them, do not comply with their requirement, they will sanction you. But they will also, they had also regime change in many places also. Iraq, Libya, even in Europe, they don't like you, they will go regime change and so on. We see that much later. But that's how they control the whole world. All the leaders of every country must, Chinese say, kowtow to them. I mean, obey them, follow their direction, rules, and so on. If not, you will be isolated by the whole world, and you will suffer in trades, economy, social, political, and so on. You are, as the Indians say, pariah, pariah. Many people won't touch you, so you don't have any trade and so on. And we can see Iran had a terrible time. Russia, China, even North Korea suffered a lot. And because of the suffering by the ruthless impositions of sanctions by this US and its allies, European Union, because of the suffering these countries had undergone, they just could not fathom how come we, an independent country, are subjected to another sovereign of another country. America can dictate us what they want or they do not want. If we don't comply, then America and the EUs will make sure we are isolated by imposing sanctions and whatnot. And so you find that you don't have friends. You are suffering. And then you look at each other who suffers. And then something crop up. China look at Russia look at China. Something crop up. They say, we are two sovereign countries. Why must be subjected to another sovereign power? We should stand up and be counted. And their view was shared by India, who refused to kowtow to the American, shared by South Africa and also by Brazil. They don't want regime change and whatnot. And that brought up the idea of BRICS. BRICS, that the world should be administered multilaterally, that means by many countries, not by one singular country, hegemony. Okay? And because of the fear that Russia will be coming back stronger than the previous Russia. The previous Russia was demolished. This is a new Russia. Afraid that this Russia will be one that will cause the downfall of the hegemony. So they put the political sanction on Russia. And Russia suffered much because of this. And even recently they want to confiscate 3 billion of Russian assets in their countries and want to use that for Ukraine war. China too, whereas Russia was more political. They don't want Russia to be back as strong as before. China, they were afraid of China economic development. China economic development leaps and bounds. They had built outrageous, magnificent, beautiful infrastructures in their country, we'll see later, and over the world. Even Saudi Arabia also used China technology to build train running through the deserts, Medina, Mecca, and so on. We'll see later the Chinese development. Okay? But what they afraid most of China is China spearheading the path of microchips and therefore computers, IT, and so on. So they wanted to block, so China cannot develop it. So they call upon Taiwan, Japan, European Union to not supply the required microchips that will help China build up their technology, even impose fines on Huawei, the most reputed Chinese computer company. And one thing that not only to pay fine to them, must disclose their secrets, how they develop their software. So not only to pay fine to them, to disclose your secret, so that you have no secret, they have all your secret, but their secret you shall not know. So they will maintain the hegemony. They will maintain the strongest power in the world. You know? But China on the quiet has the resilience, the intelligence, the power, the energy, the money to grow up outside the American and the EU confinement. They built so many outrageous, beautiful, magnificent infrastructures. And then suddenly Huawei could develop its own technologies despite sanction of the American, their allies and the EU. They build up their own microchips and they come up with 5Gs and many more. That caused the sanction of the American and the EU and their allies fruitless, no use, because China on their own, without needing the help of external countries to help them. Okay, and now China they sanction certain elements that the EU, the allies, the American need for the American for their sciences. China banned these two items, and they are now shouting, "You can't do that! You can't do that! You can ban these two substances from us. We need this. You can't ban, but they can ban you. But you can't ban." And this is very funny, you know. But yeah, Chinese ban it. They also cancel beneficial contracts from Germany, cars and whatnot. And Germany suffered. And Germany was once a very aggressive economic giant. Now is teetering almost to bankruptcy, because China market is the main market for the imported cars and all and so on. And China canceled the billion contracts. I mean, you do it to me, I'll do it to you and your gang. All right. So now, are we going to see in future? And we can also note that the Chinese air power now is acknowledged much better than the US. And the US, in order to stop Chinese development in air space, even cancel the space laboratory, space station up there. But they don't want China to come in to share the laboratory, cancel it. And China now set up its own station and laboratory up there. And last time they have to depend on American satellite, and the American put them to shame over a shipping incident. We'll see that later. And because of that, the Chinese lost face because of that. And now they build up their satellite, two satellites up there. Chinese. And some of the commentators say that you must look at the Chinese background. They have been a civilized country for thousands of years. American only hundreds, thousands of years. They have survived from one emperor, one empire to another. They are always together, they work together, they work hard. They know what's hardship, they know how to survive, and they know how to succeed. So now, the Americans realize they cannot control China economically. They can't. And today news come out that Russia will join China if ever war break out between China and America. That's another thing. But as far as I'm concerned, don't worry about Third World War, which will involve nuclear bombs or not. Because we know Mahdi has not come down yet. We know Dajjal has not come out yet. We know Gog Magog or Jud Majud has not come out. So, and also Jesus has not come down. So relax. They won't be the Third World War using nuclear bomb. So in the future, because many commentators, if you go into YouTube and listen, many commentators of the view that US is going down. The influence of US is down the drain. Non-stoppable. Now the one that coming out will be BRICS. That means the world will be ruled by multiple countries, which have all the equal say. Not one control over everybody, no. Every countries have equal share to give their views on the development of the world. But are we going to see even the UN? These countries are not happy. Even with the World Bank, UN, and the other institution, I can't remember what its name now, also they are not happy. So these BRICS countries have set up their own economic development bank, and now people do not want to borrow money from World Banks and its compatriot, I can't remember the name now, because they impose stringent conditions to benefit America and the trade and the European Union. But with BRICS, the development bank, which is set up in Shanghai, it helps not to burden people, but to help the countries to build up structurally and so on. So there is this two scenario now. You ask for my feeling. I feel that, even the Rome, the Greece greatest empire collapsed. Even British realized that they now cannot overcome the might of the US. They also gave up. I think US also and the EU is waning down. And because also the African countries waking up, they want to have their says in the running of the world, and many more countries like that. So I think there's a new paradigm moving, in that in future, multi-countries running the world, not one country. No more World Bank, no more IMF, the other one is IMF, no more IMF. And even United Nations, either it has to structurally and substantially reorganize to form an institution for the multi-countries who have a say in the running of the world. But that is something that may happen in the future. As a Sufi, though we don't interfere in all this, this is the law mahfuz. The play in the law mahfuz, we just look at it. We know there is no free will and all that. We have accepted it. And we are not going to interfere, but we shall study what happened, and so that we will be not ignorant, we know what's going on. And therefore, in the Quran, Allah says, Iqra, learn, not only read, but learn. Okay? So we are not blindsided by only knowing the Ukrawi, the religious, and not the worldly affair. We have to know, although we don't interfere. So are we going to have future leader under BRIC? It looks likely. Many people also, commentators you see in the YouTube, have the feeling, yes, we will have a new frontier, a new guard, new institution, no more the UN. So UN has been bypassed many times by the Americans. They are not given sanction to attack Iraq Iran, and so on, or even Libya, or even Afghanistan. They are not bothered without the UN sanction. So many people were unhappy, many countries were unhappy that they can change the regime if they don't like without the UN blessing. And so many of the leaders were assassinated and so on. So now these new countries coming out. We have BRICS, initially 5 countries, Brazil, we have Russia, India, China, South Africa. But they are next year, 2024, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Ethiopia, Egypt, UAE, and Argentina. They'll be joining. The last two, at the last two corner, Saudi Arabia and UAE. These countries are great producer of oil. With that, BRICS is a heavy power. They can cause the oil to rise, and that will kill many economies. You know? Even recently, Saudi Arabia refused, and the OPEC countries all refused to follow the instruction of the American to pump up more oil so that the price will fall. They refused. Yeah. So now we can see that even the Saudi Arabia refused to accept US currency now, which is called petrodollars. Last time we went to buy petrol from the Saudi, you have to pay in US currencies. So you have to buy currencies from the US. Even you're not buying their oil, you still have to buy their currencies. Many not happy, especially Saudi Arabia. After they were harsh against Saudi Arabia, accusing this government assassinating a reporter. Yes. UAE also another country which produce big quantity of oil. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of powers here, and many more who are not happy with the hegemony, willing to join BRICS. You can see Algiers, Argentina, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia already joined, Senegal, Sudan, Syria, Thailand, Turkey, UAE joined, Uzbekistan, Venezuela, Zimbabwe. Sorry, Singapore name not there. Running BRICS. Okay. So they expected in the years to come more than 40 countries or even more will be joining BRICS. Okay. So now at this point, this is a position that the American and the EU is facing. Okay, not last time when they say everybody will obey, kowtow, yes, master, yes, master. Now no more masters. Now they are standing on their own. They want to make their own decision, not others make decision for them. You see the US and EU, the hegemony, economy on China, politics on Russia. They sanction China because of economy and Russia because of politics. We see here. Economy, hegemony, China, blockade. All the resources that China had imported from countries, US and from EU or even Tokyo, even South Korean, they were told by Americans, stop supplying this to China. So as a result, China cannot develop their own microchips, their own IT and so on. They want to make sure China still below them, not above them. So all these people follow suit. Follow suit. Even we had some companies, because of that, pull out their companies which were doing well in China because of the affiliation with America, pulled these companies out and moved to India. Took out lock, stock and barrel, moved to India. Now they found out, after billions spent money industry in India, the product like Apple, product like Adidas and other products, they found this which were produced in India substandard. 50% or more substandard. Okay, so what they have done, they have to recall all this, and this product only sold in India. They won't allow this product to be sold outside India because the product standard is below 50% quantity, quality-wise. So remember, if you go India, you buy cheap handphone. You must remember these are 50% less quality than sold outside. And some of these companies had already pulled stock and barrel, pump in money into India. Some of them decided to go back to China. You know, and some of them who have big market in China for their products now have lost billions of dollars, like the American chip company, the South Korean famous chip company, lost billions of dollars because they complied with the American to block China, in particular Huawei and others, and not to supply microchip or other material to Chinese company in China, and not to buy from them, and they suffered. That even Tokyo, Japan, many going bankrupt because their market for their supplies were largely China. Now, because they have to comply with the US, they have to stop importing or even exporting to China. And now you read a lot of companies in Japan went under, bankrupt. Strange, huh? So we have to watch now, what is the American next step? Your sanction didn't work. Okay, we're talking about the economy. We have not talked about the politics, the Ukraine, that later, next week. Right? Talking about the economy. Now, what sanction you want to do? People are not bothered. You sanction oil. What happened? Russia and China buy oil from Iran. Okay, and make sure they don't lose. Of course, Iran cannot supply to EU, cannot supply to Japan or whatnot, but they have people who are willing, countries are willing to purchase China and Russia. Okay. And same, China and Russia and Iran are trading, and Russia trading with each other. They don't bother about the sanction. And despite the sanction, the World Report shows the Russian economy is doing well. Doing well. Russian economy doing well, despite the sanction. Okay. And I think today or yesterday, our Putin celebrating his birthday. The world congratulated him. So this is very, very interesting development. Although we don't interfere, but we take note what is going on. Are we going to have a new leaders, not one, leaders that we call it BRICS, going to run the whole world or not? Okay, so that is the story a bit about the BRICS. But you can see here the blockage, China blockage, and they even find countries that they accuse using their technology to create IT and all that for Chinese companies. They accuse these people of espionage and whatnot, and then find them, and then ask them to disclose, how they got this thing. So all the secret must be told to them, pay fine, otherwise they block you from trading outside the countries. Okay. But of course, China refused, and they thought they could strangle China, but the opposite happened. You can see in the diagram, the Saudi prefer Chinese technology. Although they have been in a long relationship with US, using US technologies, especially during King Faisal time and all that. Now, under this Prince Salman, you see they switch allegiance to Chinese. Now Chinese is doing all the substantial development in Saudi. When they open tender, billions of dollars to build train in the Saudi kingdom, no country in the world accepted it because it's too difficult because of sandstorm, the moving of the dunes and all that. But China took it. And they took it, they built it, and they did it very well. Okay. So now people are more inclined to China, especially the Saudi. Huawei equipments. When they banned Huawei equipments, sanction it not to import Huawei equipments, that was a sanction given by America. So the EU all complied with, all the allies, Japan and Korea, complied with that. Did not want to order Huawei equipment. Germany realized that we stop using Huawei equipment. Almost all the communication of the countries were done by Huawei. If you stop this, the communication of the whole Saudi gone. It was the Huawei who built the station, the line, whatnot, everything. Huawei technology. So Germany refused to do it. Okay, that's already a sign that even the EU, they're not happy with that American. And also Germany, because Germany was had to comply with America, certain things they did not want to import from America, from China, chips, all that, they refused because America said no. So the Chinese government got angry. They say, okay, you're not importing our chips because your big boss say no. We're going to cancel our contract on your European car, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Lexus, whatnot. We're going to cancel. And how much that? $94 billion US dollar. 94 billions cancel. They do not want. So this Germany already suffered not only because of their market in China was closed, restricted and closed. China also don't want to buy their cars, which they were hoping can pull them out. The prices of oil that they got from Russia, now Russia cannot supply, and the American go and bomb the Nord Stream line where Russian oil will go to Germany. They bomb it. So now Germany suffered a lot because of the oil. They have to resort to using coal, C-O-A-L, coal. Right? So that's why they say Germany is now a very poor state. It is contrast when they were 10 years ago different. Because of compliance with the master. That's the problem. And Huawei, which last time kept quiet, people keep using their technology, keep quiet. American using it, Japanese using it, European using it, even Korean using it. Now they impose patent license, patent licensing fees, come to billions of dollars collecting. It's like waking up the sleeping giant. Now it keep you back. And then China canceled 255 billion chips, which they imported from Europe and US. And many of the companies shut down because they canceled the 255 billion orders on chips. So now you can see this past few weeks, you don't even heard anything from the American. Quiet, very, very quiet. I think they are blurred, don't know what to do now. We have to wait and see what they're going to do. No more talking about sanctions, no more. Okay. And South Korean was the famous company in the world that built up chips, South Korean. Very famous. That's American had said, if China attack, what South Korea, that one? Oh, sorry. South Korea also famous. There's another one, Taiwan. Taiwan also very famous for this chips thing, right? That the China say this Taiwan belong to us. Why should we attack Taiwan? But the Americans say, if ever you attack Taiwan, the first thing we bomb will be the chip company, the chip factory that we're going to bomb that first, because they are famous for their chips. Until China breakthrough, before that they were famous. Okay? So China say, what the hell do you want to bomb Taiwan? Taiwan belongs to us. We're not going to force them. We let time slowly, like Hong Kong, will come back to us. Okay? Then South Korea also now have suffered a lot. So they're also in this chip company, supplying company. They also suffer a lot. And their market in China, because they have to follow the Americans, suffer a lot. Now they're going back to China to open back the market for their goods. So there's another one, the ally of American backing out. And then the American tried to impose fine on a Chinese company. The Chinese company built drones. And this drone is sophisticated, much more sophisticated than the Western one, the drones, you know. And the American wanting to know the technology, how you do it, serve fine on that company, Chinese company. You have to pay 840 million fine. And you must disclose how you do it, how you do the drone. Not only fine, they want the technology. They don't want you to be better than them. But of course, the Chinese rejected. The Chinese government rejected. You see, so that's how they treated the world, which the countries were weak. You pay fine, even though your product They say your product have used our chips, therefore espionage, pay fine. And disclose to us how you do it. Even the secret have to disclose. But China, you can't force them. They are resilient. They can be on their own. Right? The next headache, and we will see later in our lecture, is the African state. They start waking up. Last time, these European countries who are their master, colonizer, capitalize on their minerals, on their products, gold, silver, rare earths, and many more in these African countries. The colonizer, France, America, European countries, all that, they took this out, bring to their country, and they sell back at a very atrocious price, uranium and all that. Now the African wake up. Hey, how come? This is our country. They took our products, they sold it very high price, they become rich, and we still poor. We don't get anything. Yeah? So now they have a coup, rebellion, and many countries start having their own government, their own people, leaders, and they kick out the one that colonized them. Recently at Nika, I think it's Nika, I can't remember the name, they kick out the French out. French, they kick out, have to leave the embassy. They do not want these people. And this African country are waking up, and they found that they could trust the Chinese people. That's why many subscribe to the Belt and Belt and Road policy of China, that they're going to make a trade routes from China to Africa and to Europe. And many of these people in Africa will join in because they found the Chinese could be trusted, can be trusted, and it's a win-win situation. Created jobs, money, and so forth. So there's another area that we must look into. What is connected slowly with BRICS, where African countries, all of them, most of them inclined to be BRICS membership. And now China selling US dollars. Now, let me tell you about these dollars. Last time, dollars are backed by gold. You can give back their money, you want your gold, give you. Okay. Now, no more. If I'm not mistaken, after Nixon time, President Nixon, no more. Because why? They don't need you to use gold, because you have to use their dollar. Yes. All the trade in the world must use your dollar. So you don't need to use gold. So they don't need to back up gold. Now US dollar is not backed up by gold, nothing, zero. And they can keep on printing without any backup. Without any backup. And now their loan debts is over 13 trillion. Cannot be recovered. And recently they have to borrow from China money and use that money to arm the Ukraine. It's very fun. We'll see that later. So many people dump now the bonds, US bond. Because you buy US bond, you expect later on when it matured, you get the interest, very large interest and so on. But now you realize the money, the US dollar that is representing the bonds is not backed up by gold. If like now, if US dollars are rejected by all countries in the world, they don't want anymore, especially the BRIC countries, the African countries, and the Asian countries do not want. US money become like Japanese banana money. I think Marhama will remember Japanese banana money. That time the Japanese, now my family had quite a number. No more cannot be used. This Japanese banana money. If the museum want, we can give to them. So US dollar is coming down. China dumping US dollar. Dumping the bond also. China dumping 100 billion bonds. Buy golds now. Russia will start buying gold. China also selling US dollars. And China starts to build China's Belt and Road. That means they're going to build roads from China downward Africa to Europe. And it will help the countries along this route to develop. Italy was earlier on very keen to join. It joined in. But because of the master pressure, American, they pull out. This is everybody talk about this Belt and Road. It will benefit any country will come to agree with this because they build the roads along your country that will build up the economy, build up occupations and whatnot. But because of the pressure, some country pressure from America, some country pull out. Okay, but we'll see that later about the China belts and roads. Now, there's another interesting development. We already talked to you, United Kingdom, USA after World War II, BRICS in the future. There's another one recently happened. First time, Hamas could penetrate Israel, enter into Israel, and cause a lot of deaths, injuries, destruction. Entered into Israel. Hundreds entered into Israel. That was even the ministers in charge, Israel minister, they were surprised by this. They didn't expect at all. They could not foresee that Hamas can go into their town and cause a lot of death and destruction. But it happened. First time in history, Hamas can go into. So let's watch and see where is the Low Mahfuz going. I'll keep you all informed in the weeks to come, but I'm still at BRICS. I'll go deeper into it next week. I want to stop right now. I want to rest after coming back from Umrah, feeling a bit tired. I can see my dear friend Nasir and the wife also tired. We just came back. So I stop here. Maybe I have a few hours here if you want to ask any question. If my good friend Mr. Bayu allowed, yes, you can ask.
Ya, cukup Ustaz.
Ada yang nak tanya apa-apa ke?
Oh ya.
Oh, ya Aziz, selamat kembali juga dari Umrah.
Baik, mau dibuka kesempatan untuk bertanya Ustaz?
Ya.
Ya, oke. Ya, sahabat semuanya, alhamdulillah baru saja kita simak syarahan Ustaz tentang Grand Design yang kedua. Alhamdulillah Ustaz memberikan ruang untuk kita bertanya. Alhamdulillah ada yang raise hand. Silakan Pak Ibrahim, mau bertanya silakan, dibuka mic-nya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Soalan saya ialah begini. Kita tahu BRICS ni akan menggunakan wang yuan sebagai pertukaran antarabangsa mereka.
Ya.
Dan kita di sini juga punya ASEAN. Tidakkah terfikir satu masa nanti ASEAN akan menggunakan wang bersatu dengan menggunakan wang dolar Singapura sebagai pertukaran antarabangsa. Adakah kemungkinan ini boleh berlaku?
BRICS pun tidak paksa orang pakai yuan. Pasal ada negeri pun boleh pakai dia orang sendiri punya mata wang. Okey. Tapi kita tengok Indonesia pun mau masuk BRICS juga. Tapi Indonesia juga mungkin akan juga gunakan yuan. Pasal apa? The development banks, BRICS development bank dekat Shanghai, mata wang yang digunakan yuan. Kalau you nak pinjam, dia kasih duit yuan. Tapi dia orang tidak stop negeri bayar pakai currency sendiri. US. Jadi Cik Prime, kita have to wait and see lah. Tengok macam mana.
Okay, boleh. InsyaAllah. Terima kasih Ustaz.
Mana?
Yeah.
We have to wait and see, Cik Prime. But I think Singapore will change lah. We are very hardcore with dengan US Still we use dollar. I know nothing is spoken about this by the Singapore government, so we don't know which way we are going. Yes, Miss Anggolia, buka mic.
Ya, Miss Anggolia, silakan buka mic.
Master, this Hamas can infiltrate into the Israel and kidnap and all these sort of things. They can do it. It's so surprised that they can manage to go inside Israel. How long will the war goes on? I mean, will it like cause World War something, cause havoc to the world or something?
Yeah. No, because very strange. This evening, suddenly the PLO Prime Minister, I forgot his name.
Abbas?
No, PLO. Abbas. Abbas is talking about getting a third party to have peace, to talk about peace, Israel and them. Suddenly, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
News. This Abbas, the Prime Minister, asking for third party to come in and to mediate for peace.
I think China or Russia.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Wait and see tomorrow what's the news. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oke, baik. Mungkin satu lagi pertanyaan. Ada lagi? Silakan Resen kalau masih ada yang ditanyakan berkaitan dengan siaran Ustadz malam hari ini. Silakan. Ada? Ini dari chat ada Ustadz. Salam Ustadz.
Okay.
From the BRICS, will there be a peaceful world? I mean, the oneness people of the world? Di chat box.
BRICS, will there be a peaceful world? I mean, the oneness people of the world. BRICS, we still have to wait and see. But BRICS, one thing, everybody have got the right to say in the running of the world, not hegemony. Every one of the partners or the participant have the right to speak on the world affairs, not controlled by specific countries. That's one thing good. But from my view, for BRICS, many of the countries are more keen on the economic development because African countries are waking up. They want to develop. Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, the Middle East. Okay, only China and Russia, these are two stalwart on the defense side. The others are mostly economics. So will they bring a peaceful world? That's why as Sufis, we watch and see the low mahfuz moving. It is in the low mahfuz where there will be peace or there be war. It's in the low mahfuz. We'll watch and see where it's going on. Okay. We are not to participate, but to watch and see and to learn. Ikra, learn. Okay, that's my answer.
Ya, baik. Cukup Ustaz?
Cukup. Okey, cukup.
Oke. Atau masih ada yang mau bertanya lagi? Silakan. Saya kasih satu lagi deh kalau ada yang mau bertanya langsung, silakan. Jika tak ada mungkin cukup.
Anggulia, ada apa lagi nak tanya Anggulia?
Anggulia mungkin mau apa? Ingin bertanya tentang apa? Pengalaman Ustadz mungkin di sana di Tanah Suci.
Kalau saya mau tanya banyak, tapi
Kenapa tertutup tu? Suara tak dengar.
Mute. Unmute please.
Voice.
fiber rosak, nak kena beli baru. Tak apa, Ustaz rehat dulu. Nanti saya tanya banyak pula soalan. Dah malam.
Ya.
Take care.
Oke, ya.
Mau rehat. Tapi kaki pun belum baik betul.
Iyalah.
Terima kasih semua.
Ya.
Alhamdulillah.
Terima kasih.
Jumpa lagi. Saya akan pergi Terengganu 20 hari bulan.
Wah, bestnya.
Sampai 24 sampai 23, 20 sampai 24. Siapa nak ikut sama boleh kontak Jafar. Jafar ataupun Tuti Isa. Dan siapa nak ikut lah.
InsyaAllah. Pak Anjuna ada kasih chat tu, kasih baca apa dia cakap tu. Anjuna.
Oh ya, ada komen Ustaz. Jadi ada dari Pak Arjuna, Pak Permadi. Assalamualaikum Ayahanda, terima kasih atas penjabarannya. Memang demikian yang terjadi dan kemudian yang akan terjadi utamanya tentang BRICS. Ya, ingin berterima kasih aja Ustaz atas apa yang disampaikan tadi oleh Ustaz. Saya kira cukup ya Ustaz, biar Ustaz bisa istirahat puasa. Baik, sahabat semuanya, alhamdulillah itulah tadi syarahan Ustaz tentang BRICS dan sebagainya. Terima kasih Ustaz. Semoga menambah wawasan kita semuanya tentang alam mahfud yang berjalan. Kita semua harap-harap cemas apa yang terjadi nanti di hari depan. Baik Ustaz.
Baik. Terima kasih semua.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih semuanya.